ready to wander down the other end and start this final. The interesting comments there weren't there about pressure. Both players have talked about pressure. Joe Edwards talked about pressure. From a Murphy point of view, she has been able to withstand that most times. When she has been beaten, it is by someone who's got on top early.
Yeah, certainly so, and I think that's what Lesley Doig has to do if she wants to win this match. She's got to dominate early on, because Karen Murphy certainly does strive on confidence.
The jack is being sent down now for the opening end of the women's singles final at World Bowls 2016, Burnside Bowling Club in Christchurch. Australia's Karen Murphy against Scotland's Lesley Doig. These are the two who will battle out for the gold and silver medals. For the first time in a World Championship final, Lesley Doig sends down a bowl. A 25-year-old from Fife in Scotland, and that's an encouraging opener. So she has the dark blue bowl with the blue disc. Murphy will have the red disc on her speckled bowl. So there we are. Well, that's shot for shot. The Australian team out in force here. Mark Casey and Aaron Sheriff there in that shot. Both of them involved in a final yesterday and enjoying a bit of downtime before competition resumes tomorrow here in Christchurch. Quite a smattering of Scottish fans here, not just members of the team, but quite a few from supporters from outside of the playing area. Bumped into one gentleman before with his kilt on. He had a good broad accent and was ready to give plenty of vocal support to this woman, Lesley Doig.
Pardon me?
2.5 feet.
2.5 feet short?
Yeah.
Very good bowl from Lesley Doig. There's one down. So covered for the shot. Karen Murphy looking to chase her bowl down, following a similar line has been done by Doig. Certainly right in the target area. And through the gap.
Wow, this is a good indication of what we're going to see today. The Murphy jog after the bowl. Sometimes she'll stop halfway and just almost lean with the bowl as it starts to move its way into the jack. Lesley Doig, she's 25 years of age. It's only her second year as a full international for Scotland. And she's won several under-25 national titles and 3 world under-25 medals. This is her biggest, as she admitted, the biggest occasion of her life in bowls. There'll be a lot of Scottish fans hopefully getting up early and watching this on live streaming to see how this young woman does today. And there's another very good bowl from her. She'll hold 2 shots on this end with 1 to play from Murphy.
Well, if she was nervous, he certainly hasn't displayed it on the opening end. Lesley Doig, a couple of fantastic bowls. See the second one just sneaking underneath her own bowl. 2 shots. You often see both players come up and have a look after their third bowl. They're not permitted to come up to the head after their first and second unless they have the permission of the marker. However, they will generally come and have a look after their third, so it'll be interesting now Karen Murphy on the mat. I think she will play some sort of attacking shot here. Certainly lining up for it.
Well, that might have worked in her advantage. It has. She was 2 down. And now she is one up to Scotland, in fact. I thought that maybe that bowl of Murphy's had... No.
I'm pretty sure.
She's put up the wrong colour, I'm sure.
She has at that. Yes,
Yeah.
it was definitely one to Karen Murphy.
Yeah.
You can see the bowl that rolled over there. Definitely, what a great result for Karen Murphy there. She was 2 down. And, yep, it was 1 to Murphy. Karen Murphy playing with the red disc bowls.
So Rita Shek from Hong Kong, China is the marker and holds the lollipops as well. But Australia certainly, Karen Murphy has the red disc bowl, so the lollipop should reflect that. But 1-0, Murphy in front of Doig.
Both players with their second bowl coming across the face. We see it crossing the centre line very early. So 2 opening bowls are very good. However, second 2 both going narrow. As Karen Murphy delivers her third bowl.
She's gone quite wide this time.
Is the shot ball jack high?
Yeah, hi, Jack.
Change of hand for Doig after the last bowl from Murphy, blocking her passage towards the jack. Studying it, is it? Well, gets onto the outside
My last
bowl
one's
of
short
Karen
there,
Murphy.
right place, how far? Sit it. Thank you.
Now you'll notice that the players ask a question of the marker, Rita Shek, and she can only answer the question that they ask, which is normally, they can't add anything to that. I just ask a question, basic question. It's like in rugby asking the TMO. You've got to ask them a direct question for them to answer it. Here's a good track from Murphy, but might not run it out, or is it? It's going to. She's played it perfectly. 2 to Australia. Karen Murphy leading by 3-0 now after those 2 ends. Settling down period, but these players know that you can't take long to settle down. You've really got to start hot, and those couple of trial ends are very important in that regard. So Karen Murphy won this in 2012. She's the defending champion and vastly experienced. Huge amount of success for Australia. Mel Richardson also won it for Australia in 1985. But no Scottish international has won the women's singles title. So there could be some history in the making. One, that Murphy becomes the first Australian to win that title twice and in succession, although other bowlers have won this title in successive years. The great Elsie Wilkie in New Zealand won it in 1973 and 77. And then Margaret Johnson of Ireland, tremendous competitor. She not only won it 3 times, but she won it twice in succession in 2000 and 2004.
How short there, Rita, please? 10 inches.
She talked, or earlier Joe Edwards talked about the size of bowl that Lesley Doig is using. It tends to often be size of hand, but it's also just a matter of how comfortable you feel with it. Also, I wonder what she's using here. Presumably the size won't be different, but that's the brand and maybe make of bowl will be.
Yes, it's unusual at international level, at this level of the sport, to see anybody playing with a size 1 bowl. However, it's, as you said, it's what you are comfortable with. As Karen Murphy, outstanding.
Hard luck there.
Rita, the gap between my shot bowl and Jack, please. 4 inches. 2. 4 inches. 4 inches. Thanks, mate. Cut.
This is what Murphy can do, and she can do it right from the start. Early in a match, she can sometimes, she'll pick up a 3 or a 4 sometimes, and it just can help to blow the opposition away.
She's certainly been outstanding in the opening ends. A little bit fortuitous in the first end, but she was on target with her drive, as we see her second shot coming in here. She got a great result out of it, of course, when she picked up the 1 shot, having been 2 down. And on the second and third end, she has put the pressure on. Doig playing with some weight.
Oh, she's wide here. Yep. She knew it well wide.
Soon as she let it go, didn't she? She put her arm out, knowing that she was wide of the target area.
Just a 2. I thought it might have been 3, and that's a 2-2. So Murphy continues to score 5-0. She's up after 3 ends. And she's quickly into action. She like all the Australian players, they don't mess around. Quickly, if the bowls are around, just plonk the jack of their mat down a bit further advanced. Don't worry about moving bowls or anything. Just step up and put the jack down and quickly in to play the first shot. Natasha Scott, skip of the gold medal winning 4 from yesterday. Just talking about the bowls again, Terry, and those some viewers who are new to bowls or watching, for being intrigued in it for the first time, and watching just how these bowls turn in so well. You talk about the size of what this woman is using, Lesley Doig, being a size 1, a smallish bowl. Now, does that, in a visible size of it, in the weight of the bowl, both? And what effect does say wind have on a size 1 as opposed to a 4 or 5?
Yeah, certainly so. The physical size of it's smaller, and the weight is definitely less. What you do find is that you need to take more green with a smaller bowl. It does take a bigger arc, and you have to give it a little bit more push because there's more revolutions of the bowl to get to the jack. In windy conditions, they do tend to be a little bit more susceptible to the wind because of there being a lighter bowl. As we see Karen Murphy brewing another shot, she's certainly on form in this game. So I think Joe Edwards mentioned it earlier on, or Lesley Doig may have said that hopefully it doesn't come up windy, because they will get mistreated, one might say. She's playing her second bowl, and pretty good, but not the shot. So we can just see there's a light breeze. So down at ground level, they won't be being affected too much at this stage.
What's the position there, please, Rita?
Gosh, if we get one of those nice views
Hold on 1 second and
tracking
measure.
looking from the mat here end down as a bowl goes towards the jack, it doesn't appear as though she's taking a huge amount of green or any more green than Murphy. So it can be quite a slight adjustment. So yeah, Murphy now.
And it can also be in the delivery as well. It's the point that it comes out from the hand as to where that actually is on the green line.
Murphy indicating, yeah, you just see this from the bowlers. They think, oh gosh, that's a bit wide. I didn't need it out there. Oh, that's not bad though, is it?
Look, at the end of the day, she's played a very good bowl there. She split the 2 Scottish bowls, and she's got in between them. And any movement of the jack is minimalising her loss.
Doig would love to be on the board here. She's gone 3 ends without scoring. Pick it up. Take it to yourself, not to Murphy. Take it to yourself. Stay there. Did she? No indication yet from the marker.
Well, Karen Murphy was waving her bowl wide, and look where it's ended up. It's possibly the shot.
Yes, that's right. Because it might not have been exactly where she wanted, but it was past the jack and therefore can potentially come into the play. Final of 21 shots, first to 21. Australia up to a 5-0 lead already. Karen Murphy. Murphy following this, she went almost out to our camera operator who's sitting out in the centre of the rink, of the green, to see where it ended up. She couldn't see the jack. Now, as she goes over and chats to Steve Glasson at the on the bank. The last bowl of this, the fourth end, is in the hand of Lesley Doig.
There's an opportunity here for her to sit the shot bowl back. I think she's playing as if she is one down. Tracking reasonably well towards it as well. Will she turn in time though? That's the big thing.
Oh, not much, not quite. So she played, as you said, as if she was one down. She might still ask for a measure, and she is.
Measure? Yeah. Let's work this close. Yeah.
So clear all the other bowls away, the ones that aren't involved in the measure. Just putting a little
chalk underneath.
Just
to stop the bowl from tipping over. Short measure, so she'll use calipers. Good steady hands required, John.
Yep. And even then, she flicks out the Australian ball. So Doig had read it well. She was one down. It's 6-0. Australia's Karen Murphy leading Scotland's Lesley Doig in the first of 21 shot final. Lesley Doig said in a pre-match interview, when asked what did she have to do to win this, she said, well, I've just got to play my best game and get my bowls close. She has got her bowls close. She hasn't been wayward, really, but it's just that Murphy has been constantly getting them closer.
Certainly so. She hasn't played badly at all. She probably doesn't deserve to be 6-0 down. Well, it's interesting. Lesley Doig has changed her hand, and she was going pretty well on the other side of the ring. So how well will she adapt?
Murphy is fantastic to watch for those young people who are picking up the game, and watching her on the mat. Look at her delivery, is just so smooth, never varies. Big cheer from quite sizable Australian audience here, and we do hope our viewers in Australia through Fox are enjoying this performance. Already one gold medal today through Wilkie and Wilson in the men's pair. Nice return here from Doig. Just snaffles the shot.
Some great stuff there.
Is that there, ready to play?
It's awesome.
Exactly, Jacko. No part of the bowl's in front?
No, just that much.
Sorry?
That much in front, part of the bowl.
It's a bit in front, yeah?
Yeah.
It's up.
Karen Murphy staying on her backhand. Sure that she's got some weight to it. Opportunities of sitting the bowl or moving the jack back pretty much in the area, isn't she? Gee, that was a great effort.
She thought it was on. Spot on. But look what would happen if she did take out that shot bowl. So here we have the third bowl from Doig. Forced onto her other hand now. This will be handy too, just over the jack. And Murphy comes down to have a look. She's been deadly accurate to date. And Karen Murphy walks back to pick up her fourth and final bowl of this end. We're playing the fifth, and she leads 6-0.
Well, Karen Murphy doesn't need to change too much from her previous bowl. Sitting the shot through, picking up the jack and going through with it. Well, they've certainly got more weight. And looks to be wider as well. Come back? Don't think so.
No. Well, free shot here for Doig. She's holding one. She can draw another. She can. There's a couple of options there for her to pick up two, or a bit of luck, three shots. She'll be looking to make it two at least. Here she is, final bowl of this end. She's down by 6-0 on the board. She's holding shot. Oh, she takes it with her. And that may well give her two shots there.
I think she might only just retain the
that
one.
One to the right is not close enough. It's just one. They're not even bothering a measure. No, of course not. That was accurately read by Murphy and by Doig, and Doig will be disappointed. She had a great chance to get two there, but she is on the board at 6-1. So quite happy to play a lengthy end.
Yes, it's
Lesley
the
Doig.
longest end they've played so far in the game.
Good area again for Doig.
Just coming up short, Karen Murphy. So it's Lesley Doig who holds two shots at the present time.
My last bar right there, please.
1 foot in front.
A foot. Tap.
Doig holding two shots here. There's a gap there, but Murphy doesn't find it. Play the same shot next time if things don't change, and it might just work her way.
We'll see a change of hand from Doig now. Holding the shot. Going on to her backhand.
She's got to work out what Murphy might be planning as well as she delivers this. Looks to be handily placed again. Well, that's put the pressure on Murphy now. That's 3. Up in the top left, chewing his nails, possibly. His dad, that's Lesley Doig's husband, and they've got the baby here as well, being looked after by grandmother. The chap on the right is a chap I referred to as wearing the kilt. He comes from Kelso in Scotland, down on the border area.
So Murphy looking to attack. 3 down.
Down 3. She might cut that centre line a bit early.
Gives up on that early.
Yeah. So that's what the Scottish woman Lesley Doig wanted to do, was to get in some early points. It's taken her a while, but she gets a 3 here, and all of a sudden from 6-0 up, Murphy now sees the score 6-4. A very good end for Lesley Doig. That'll give us some heart, because not to score here and to suddenly be around 7 or 8-1 down in a 21-shot race, although still a lot of bowls to be played, it just changes the inner feeling.
It's a confidence booster, isn't it?
Yeah.
Interestingly, she's thrown another longer end.
Just reminding you that Doig beat Edwards of New Zealand in the semi-final, 21-17. She got through to that by virtue of winning her pool. So straight through to the semi. Edwards had got through to the semis by beating former champion Carmen Anderson of Norfolk Island in 21-20. That was a very tight match throughout. Murphy beat Kelly McKerahan of Canada 21-20 in the semis, and also beat Zelina of Malaysia 21-14 in the quarters.
My white radar, please.
3 inches behind.
How far, mate?
3 inches.
Thank you.
Neither bowler exceptionally close, so still plenty of room within which to draw. And this is Doig's 3rd bowl coming in.
This is the best.
Yeah.
How far in front's the last one, please, Rita?
Karen
8 inches.
Murphy clarifying how far in
8.
front as to whether it may just be in her draw
Just the
line. I
one,
think
yeah?
she may be forced
Yep.
to change hands
My
here.
last ball, please.
A foot.
That's the one out on the left-hand side at the top of the screen as you look at it. It's a second shot. So Murphy looking to just come underneath it or turn it up for shot.
This is the singles final for women at World Bowls 2016. Karen Murphy against Lesley Doig. Australia against Scotland. Murphy starting in great fashion. It's 6-0 after 4 ends. Doig has fought back with a single and a 3 to be now trailing by 6-4 and holding shot here.
Holding 2 shots.
Now 2, yes.
Unfortunately for Murphy with her last bowl, blocked her journey to the jack a little bit. So just up on the bank, I think she's just having a brief yarn to Steve Glasson here on what might be the best options.
Yeah.
Just 2 down.
Yeah.
Really, it looked like a bit of affirmation of Murphy's thoughts anyway. Glasson didn't say too much there. It was just a bit of a nod, as if to say, no, I agree with what you're planning. Go for it.
Okay, Murphy coming back over onto the backhand now.
She's 2 down on the head. Up by 2 on the board. Last bowl on this end for Karen Murphy. Looks to be cutting that line early again. What's her weight like? Is it going to take her up into it? And she won't. It doesn't at all. And so 2. Murphy concedes, says yes, that's fine. As she walks back, the lollipops go up, and they are 2 blue ones, and it's now 6-all.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how she responds to this. Started off very well. First 4 ends, leading by 6-0. Well, Lesley Doig has bounced back from that.
There's no doubt she'll continue to play that length of end too, because she looks so comfortable with it, doesn't she?
Certainly does.
Yeah.
Yes, earlier on in the game, Karen Murphy getting them very close, but she's just on that, particularly on that end there, she was a wee bit wayward.
Start of end number 8. The ends don't matter in this. It's a first to 21, but they're playing the 8th end, and we've seen this game fluctuate quite significantly. After 4 ends, Karen Murphy, the defending champion, was leading by 6-0, but right now, 3 ends later, it's 6-all. To Murphy's first bowl. So just compensating for that short first bowl and overcompensating. As Doig said, if I can put early pressure on, then perhaps I've got a chance against Karen Murphy. Of course, then we heard Joe Edwards say, well, you know, Murphy handles the pressure, all sorts of pressure. So Doig doesn't really want to let this momentum slip if she can help it. What a great response.
Where is that, please, Rita?
黑波月份
Yes, a very good response there from Lesley Doig. 2 down. Forced to change her hand after her first bowl. Chances for Karen Murphy, but looks to be wide. Won't quite turn in time.
Just a matter of getting that picture, isn't it? And when you go down and have a look, you can talk to the marker and she can give you numbers and a sort of an idea, but until you see it yourself.
It's always difficult judging bowls behind the jack or in front of the jack,
Yeah.
just to how much the distance they're away. So Lesley Doig wanted to clarify it for herself.
Onto that forehand. Just wondering what the danger might be. And she's decided to cover that there. She's got a couple down there anyway, so I wonder if that was her intention.
Don't really think it was.
No. She had the chance to draw around those shots that are just obscured now by the marker, but who was doing not much more than just having a good view herself, because the player has been on the head and had a look herself. So.
I'm just wondering if Karen Murphy's got the shot here. That's why I think Lesley Doig may have changed her hand to look at turning her own bowl over. I'm just wondering. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Let's see what Murphy plays now. This is the final bowl on this end. It scores a level at 6-all.
Just when Karen Murphy was walking back, she gave a little bit of an indication to Steve Glasson that she may well hold the shot. So it'll be interesting.
I like mine, Lesley.
Here to say there, I like mine.
Oh.
So the umpire's been called to determine who has actually got it.
Well, this will be interesting. One of them's going to be right the way they played the shot. That's the Doig bowl. Oh, yes, I think that looks the way that's touching us. Oh, Australia. No, we're going to go again. Australia, yeah. Oh, well done, Karen Murphy. I like mine, she said. And she was right.
Sorry about that. That's right. We both came and had a look.
Quite a few yellow caps, yellow uniforms around watching this intriguing final between the defending champion on the mat now, Karen Murphy. And away to our right is Lesley Doig, playing in her first ever World Championships, looking to give Scotland their first ever singles title in the women's section. See in the front row there wearing the sunglasses, even though it's not all that bright out there, Mark Casey and Aaron Sheriff. And the bowlers do have the day off tomorrow, Monday. Competition begins on Tuesday in the next phase of this, with finals again live here on Sky and Fox next Saturday and Sunday. It'll end on the Sunday afternoon, this time with the men's singles final. That applause you could hear initially was Steve Glasson, who's standing right down behind the head. He could sense that this was a good shot from Murphy. She's holding 2. Well, no adjustment made for Doig. She'll be very disappointed with that, and she's showing it.
Karen Murphy holding the 2 shots, but looking to get a little bit of cover just inside those last bowls of Lesley Doig.
What did you say?
I don't think that was the intention.
Just a bit of a struggle with the weight here. That's all 3 bowls the same distance past the jack. Well, this time it's certainly cover.
Possibly went just a little bit further than she wanted to. She wanted to keep the pressure on. Perhaps inside the blue bowls was her target area.
Difficult shot, playing forehand onto the jack, and drawing dead should be happy with. Moving the jack back to her others would be even better. She's first of all got to get that weight right. And the line, is that going to be good enough? If it gets in, it's not going to get inside. It's not far off, but she hasn't cut it down. And so this is a big end for Karen Murphy. She scores a 3. She moves up to 10-6. So after a couple of what you might say wayward ends from Murphy, she's come back into this perfectly. She was up by 6-0. Then 3 ends later at 6-all when she dropped a 3-2. She got a single on the 8th when the measure went in her favour, and she read that well. And now a 3. It's 10-6, first to 21.
Yes, well, certainly the lesser end that Lesley Doig has played, and that's the reason why Karen Murphy managed to pick up the 3 shots. Well, the opening bowl of Karen Murphy, adjacent to the jack. Lesley Doig just has to forget about the last end. It's over and done with. Move on and recover into this one. As Murphy continues to put pressure on her.
sweet smell of success still a long way away in this game. Karen Murphy almost halfway there. 21 shots required. She's holding. She's in a good, strong position. And this is the 10th end. Fine adjustment made by Murphy. Wow, look, we often talk about Australian strength, and one of them is that if they have a little advantage, have a sense that the opposition are struggling, they'll certainly make the most of it.
She looks to be narrow again, doesn't she?
Yeah, she was playing with just a bit of weight to try and get in and unsettle that. She doesn't cut it down. It's still 3.
Well, Karen Murphy is protecting it now. She's got the 3 shots, so she's looking to draw to the spot in case Doig has a drive and it's killed. The situation is when it's killed, if the jack goes outside the rink bounds, it's respotted on the 2 metre mark from the back ditch. See it there right down the bottom of our screen, a little T spot there, the end of the chalk line. That would be where the jack would be relocated to if it went outside the rink. Well, we haven't seen Lesley Doig attack yet, have we? So it'll be interesting to see what option she employs here.
Well, it looks, when you see it, it looks an inviting spot in which to draw, doesn't it? Really, it's quite open.
Yeah, it's not really a target for driving.
No.
She'd probably only just be reducing, wouldn't she?
Yeah. She just had to change her line a wee bit. Is she going to run this out? She needs another metre. Come. And it does. Doesn't get the shot, but she's certainly, I would say, cut down that score. 1, probably, oh gosh, yeah, they're close, aren't they? In comes the marker again. 2. Angela Thompson from England is the measurer here, the umpire. Also got Mark Cowan of Australia down the other end. We've got operators on the scoreboard, of course, with Les Smith operating.
One bowl being taken out.
End.
So
One way.
So just the 1. Okay, so 1 shot it was. So she did cut that down tremendously. Up at the back, Dave Edwards alongside his wife Jo, and for Dave Edwards, who's been the national coach in New Zealand for a decade, it's his last time as New Zealand coach, as he and Jo are heading off to Australia to do other things associated with bowls.
well, Karen Murphy's recovered most of those points she lost in the 5th, 6th and 7th end, scoring on the last 3. 5 shots, leading by 11-6. And she does every now and then play a loose one, doesn't she?
Yes, yeah. Of course, it's only loose if the opposition make the most of it. Not often are the 2 loose ones in a row. Doig would like to get that mat back, get in charge of the length, because you see where she is at the moment. Those 2 balls, a couple of metres over. There's another loose one from Murphy. Both a bit tense.
Certainly are. Could well be another counter, that's the thing. And Lesley Doig has to negotiate that bowl. She has to get underneath it. Depends how far she's come underneath, though. Well, that's second.
Forehand right to her second shot.
Yeah.
At the back.
Yeah.
Keep off the front one, of course.
Yeah. Inside.
So Doig,
Inside it.
when she
Inside
wandered
it.
back down to the head, she's
Drop it
clearly
in.
just
Yeah.
feeling it a wee bit, and her reaction to that last bowl indicated that she's just a bit concerned about this. She had the towel up on her face and just shaking her head, grimacing. It's all those sort of things that you would expect when you feel as though you're not at your best at the moment.
And she hasn't been at her best in this last couple of events.
No.
She's been her first 3 bowls have been very loose on this end and on the last end, and that's she's putting the pressure on herself. It's not so much that Karen Murphy has in those couple of events. It's definitely her that's put the pressure on herself.
CEO of Bowls New Zealand, Kerry Clark. Well, really, for Doig, this is not a situation that she should be overawed by. But it's not a tight head. It's just that her confidence after those first 2 bowls here and the before on the previous end were not what she was contributing from sort of ends 2 on.
Yeah, she's got some options here. The movement of the jack's all in her favour. I'm sure that Karen Murphy was looking with her last bowl to get around to the 2 black bowls that we can see at the bottom of the screen there. There's movement of the jack back, and Doig certainly looks to be playing with some weight. Crossing the centre line early, isn't it? Yes, it did.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
you can see what she was trying to do.
One left.
It's just the 1 shot to Karen Murphy.
So just hanging in there on these last couple of ends. The Scottish singles player, Lesley Doig. The opportunity was there for her to move the jack back to where she had a couple of bowls. She wasn't far away, but that's not good enough, and it's 12-6. Murphy, the defending champion. Starting the 12th end of this final, the women's singles. Karen Murphy, who won this event in 2012 in Adelaide, is in the final again, and she has the upper hand at the moment. A 12-6 advantage over Lesley Doig. the end of this, we'll have the presentations, of course, presentation of medals, and that's her loosest bowl yet, and also the presentation of medals to the men's pairs. Oh, that helped too. That's better, much better. Cuts it down.
Last ball in front there, Rita, is it please?
Yes. 5 centimeter.
How far, mate, please?
5 centimeter.
1 centimetre. Thank you.
On the mat again, Doig. Her last one was very good. Now she's playing
with
a tight line with a bit of weight, but it's going to swing across. That's not a good bowl. She was looking for the shot bowl.
Yes, I think she definitely would need more weight than that to hold it up inside the bowler. We can see it there looking down the line. The shorter bowl that she played. She needed to get sharper down inside that one. Holding one at the moment, Karen Murphy.
Well, some of viewers might be interested that the World Masters Games is in Auckland in April next year, and a big bowls competition from ages 30 through to 80 plus. So I could almost fit into those categories. Murphy, having recognised what Doig was intending with her last bowl, plays it safe. She's got 2 down the back now, one close, both of them closer to the spot than any of Doig's. Now, does she return and play the same shot?
Well, she won't be wanting to play the same shot. She'll be wanting to play it better.
Yes, that's right. Very good, Terry. She'd like to play the shot she intended to play last time.
Well, she hasn't got a lot of weight, has she?
No. It's starting to work well. It's starting to work very well. That's almost the perfect bowl. But no, it wasn't. And so a shot to Murphy.
Gee, on the draw, she probably couldn't have played it much better than that.
The Australian, the defending champion, is leading by 13 shots to 6. And we've completed 12 ends. It's the first to 21 in this final. Just not the outcome she desired. And there's more bowls coming up live on Sky Sport and also Fox Sport Australia in late February, early March. That's the Bowls Premier League. It's being held at Sunnybrae Bowling Club during the day, and then the live coverage of the night sessions will be from North Shore Events Centre. So you'll be able to catch up with that next year. Some outstanding bowls featuring all those clubs from Australia, plus the New Zealand Blackjacks team. And if you want to go and watch it live, it's all free of charge. Best of 21. This is first to 21 shots. And Murphy of Australia, the defending champion, is leading by 13-6. She was up by 6 shots to 0, and then on the fifth end, Doig scored a single, followed by a 3 and a 2. And Doig was running hot at 6-all, and then a measure on the 8th went against her. And it was 7-6 to Murphy, and she's just continued to score since then. A 3 on the 9th, and singles on the 10th, 11th and 12th.
Yes, Lesley Doig will want to get back into that form that she's displayed earlier on. Murphy has had the better of her over the last few ends, and she's been a little bit loose, Lesley Doig. Well, holding 2 at the moment as Karen Murphy slides by. So an opportunity for Doig to put the pressure on Murphy. Third bowl from Doig. She needs to negotiate that front one. She has done that. So, still just the 2 shots, I think.
It's, gosh, it must be nerve-wracking to be down on that mat, watching that bowl come in and thinking, yes, yes, and then noticing it slide through just a little bit. She sees, though, the 2 lollipops held up in her colour. So holding 2. Murphy to play her last. Scratchy head for Murphy there. He's had a couple of those, but she so quickly regains her composure and starts plonking them on the jack.
And that's what she has done over the last 3 or 4 ends.
So here she goes now, looking to save the situation. She's down by a couple. Has she done it? Oh, not quite. She's still down a couple of shots here by the looks of things there. And you certainly get that reaffirmed now by the 2 lollipops. So, well, this is the opportunity that Doig needs to just get back into this game.
Yes, that last bowl of Karen Murphy's looked as though it was going to be coming in for the inside the Doig bowls, and just wandered on by. So adding the bonus here.
Oh, husband can't watch. He knows what's at stake here. A 3. She just doesn't want to do anything like knocking up that short bowl. Oh, she looks heavy. Is she going to hold up? Is she going to hold up? Play onto her own. She has done it. Yes, it stops, falls backwards. 3 it is. A big show of throwing it up there. Rita Sheck, nice display. Hauls it up and says, here we go. Yes, that is 3 shots as we see the replay of that last bowl. It fell, but it was still in the count, and a 3 to Lesley Doig makes the score 13-9 in favour of Karen Murphy.
Yes, he didn't want Murphy to get further away from it. He needed to peg some of the shots back. She's done it in a multiple, so just the 4 behind now. As you can see there, 13-9 after 13 ends. The ends don't count. It's the first of 21 shots.
You just see one of the Scottish coaches in the background there, Sandra McLeish, had a smile on her face. She hasn't been smiling very much. First bowl on this end, the 14th. Murphy seeking to win this title in successive championships. Well, said earlier that she has the occasional loose end, but they are very occasional, and if she has one, she more often than not doesn't have more than one. She hauls it back very quickly, that mental toughness she has. But I must say that Lesley Doig's also proving to be a mentally tough character, playing her first World Championship. Under 25 experience, but first time at one of these big events.
Very good line. It's just the weight that's not going to get her there, though. The track towards the jack was pretty much in the correct line. However, shortage of weight. It's blocked up now for Doig, who's been forced to change hands. Going on to her backhand. Must be coming up short as well.
Yeah, well short. Both of them with those last bowls.
Now,
Force Murphy to the other hand too.
yes, it's one of the rare bowls that Karen Murphy has played going in this direction on her backhand.
Often you find that they play it well even though they haven't played it before, and you wonder why they haven't used that hand previously. There you go. No thumbnail left, really. There's Mr. Doig there. Doig was just narrow and short with her previous one. You can see the target she's got there. She's going to be wide. That was what she was hunting for. Last bowl of this end, the 14th. Here's Murphy looking to make it 2, confirmed 2, maybe 3. There's a suggestion she does hold 2 down here, and she's not going to add to the count on this. So when they take that shot bowl out, we'll see what's left. And it is a 2, no questions asked. 2-2 Karen Murphy, 15-9. 6 away from the title here. 6 shots can take a long time to get. Then again, it can be over in a couple of ends. But Karen Murphy of Australia leads Lesley Doig of Scotland 15-9 in the women's final at World Bowls 2016. So Saturday and Sunday of each of the weeks of competition are finals days. So 2 finals live here next Saturday and also on Sunday. And we have the men's singles as the last event next week. All from the Burnside Club in Christchurch, which has played host to some wonderful competitions over recent years. Trans-Tasman's, Asia Pacific's, 2008 World Championships were held here as well. I think they played across the other way during 2008, didn't they? Across the green or up and down? Out the same way?
Yep, they
Other way.
they played the same way in
Did
the
they?
finals. Yeah.
Ah.
Lesley Doig with her first ball.
How fast, line
Just
reader, please.
coming to rest on the outside of
Yeah.
Karen Murphy bowl.
Sorry, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Murphy just adding that little bit extra on here.
Yeah, certainly putting the pressure on Lesley Doig, isn't she? Some good bowls. It's interesting. Lesley Doig changing her hand. I don't know if she really needed to, did she?
Wouldn't have thought so.
Proved me wrong, probably.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, she's proved you wrong. She has proved you wrong. Not many people do that, Terry. Oh, no, she doesn't. Sorry, no. She hasn't got the shot. No, you
Well,
would.
it fell out. She
Yeah.
momentarily had the shot,
Yes.
and then it fell out.
Where is the last bowl in relation to Jack, reader, please? The last bowl,
The last ball. 4 inches behind.
4 inches behind.
Yeah.
We'll possibly see Karen Murphy change her hand as well, come down on the forehand.
Such a different game, isn't it, where you've got to make all your own decisions. You've got no help from down the end apart from a marker, but no one to discuss the shot with. Or same shot again.
Yes, looking to get another good handy bowl in there, and then we might see her attack the shot bowl. Needs to get past those front ones. That's the first objective.
Oh. Still 1-2 Australia. They've got one bowl each to play. So the Australian bowl is the speckled one. That's Murphy's closest. Here's Murphy's last. She doesn't want to give Doig any big opportunity here. Well, as we look at that now, Doig is holding... No, she's not holding a shot, but she can get to that shot bowl of Murphy's.
Yes, she's definitely holding the one shot, Karen Murphy. The red disc bowl immediately above the jack as to whether Doig is keen enough to attack it. She's got definitely the 1 second on the left-hand side past the jack.
Yes.
And it would be closest to who would have the other second. We only have the one.
She's just going to draw. This looks to be heavy, doesn't it?
Yes. She's not getting too
It
excited
was
about
sort of
that
a
at all.
half and half sort of shot, really, wasn't it? Maybe in her mind was the thought I should have a run at that, but should I play safe and draw, and ends up with a halfway house, and also one going against her. At 16-9, Murphy moves closer. To the left, Mike Spring, the president of Bowls New Zealand, and Leanne Dalzell, the Mayor of Christchurch, which is playing host to this event, and Christchurch Council supporting such events as this.
The ever steady Murphy. The first bowl so important. Response from Doig. Yes, well, it fell out. I think it may have been shot if it set up, but it's fallen out.
Sorry, mate.
8 inches.
8.
So
Thank you.
the one shot at the moment to Murphy. Second ball from Doig. There's a bit more weight. Whether it does grab the jack on the way through. She needed it.
How far past is my first bowl now, please, Rhoda?
4 feet.
Thank you.
Weight adjustment now required from Murphy. Tracking towards the jack. I don't think it's quite good enough, is it?
Guy still hold.
Lesley Doig asked if she still holds. One of the rare times he's questioned the position.
Well, she doesn't get many opportunities, or Murphy doesn't allow them. And Doig really does need to get in here and score another. Oh, she's... Oh, gosh. No, she needed to be onto the jack there to make sure of it. She's still holding just the one.
1 jack.
Standing time for husband. Possibly listening out to hear if baby Cameron's crying in the clubhouse somewhere. From Fife, plays out of the Strathmiglo bowling club in Scotland, Lesley Doig. As I mentioned earlier, just his second year as a full international, so great reward for a short time in the top level of open bowls, but she has a vastly impressive record as an under 25 competitor.
Any change in the second, please, Rhoda?
Karen Murphy checking that she's just the
No,
one
still one.
down.
Yeah.
You haven't had a look, but I think what actually happened on her way back, the bowl fell over.
Murphy, forehand, searching for that little gap down there, bringing it in, trying to make it even more difficult. Goes past that back bowl. That is the backest bowl, as you're allowed to say, backest in bowls. She's left the head. She knows exactly what the picture is down there. Is there a chance for her to get more than a single out of here? Or she can draw this and get 2. She could get 3 if there's a slight movement of the jack in her favour. We'll see what she does. She's first of all got to be up, which she will be. That's what's her line like.
Tracking fairly well here.
Yeah, yeah. Or move the jack. She says, I want to move the jack. I have. That'll help me. That might be the 3.
Definitely 2. It's just a matter of how far she did move it.
Yeah, 2.
2 only.
2 only. And she just steps in, picks the jack up. So a little bit of relief here for Doig, who picks up a 2 on the 16th end and does slow down the Murphy momentum. 16-11. That was what was required.
The scoreboard there. Karen Murphy leading 16-11. Race to 21. Playing second on this end. Lesley Doig picking up the 2 shots on the previous end. And tracking in reasonably nicely, Karen Murphy.
She runs this out. Good ball from Doig. Yeah. Five shots in it. And this race to 21.
Just see the consistency in Murphy. They've played 16 ends and she has scored on 11 of the 16 ends.
She was totally on track with that last ball. Just a slight adjustment required. And here's the adjustment. There's the adjustment. There you go. Just a fraction was needed to that. Previous bowl, you could see it was almost there, but just finished a bit narrow. And this time she made that adjustment, picks up the jack, gets the toucher, gets the shot.
Yes, it was a well-played ball from Karen Murphy.
But Doig knows that that's the same. She can play that identical shot. Gap's wider there. She can go through that same gap and get onto the jack. She can draw the shot if she's up there.
Pretty well pointed.
Yeah,
she's on the right line, looking at it going in there.
Yeah.
How well she played this. That's awesome.
Very good. As she did, went down through that same hole. And of course, Murphy can see that same track as well. (16-11). Will it be 16-12 at the end of this, or will it be 17-11? Final bowl from Murphy on this end, a 17th end. She's up 16-11. She's one down on the head.
He looks to be on a very good line. She might be turning a wee bit soon, is she?
She was, and she is. And so, with the mat in hand, Lesley Doig moves up to start this, the 18th end. She gets a single. The gap is just 4. It's 16-12. Well, she has the mat. It's way back as far as it can go. Final stages of this women's singles final at World Bowls 2016. The jack has been put down by Lesley Doig of Scotland, who scored on the last 2 ends, a single on the 17th, a 2 on the 16th. So from 16-9 down, she's now 16-12 down, and it was vital that she scored those points. But it's also vital that she carries on with that form, and that opener is not what she wanted.
Yes, that's the important part of it now. She needs to maintain some consistency. She's been a little bit looser, even though she's scored in the last couple of events. She's been a little bit looser than what she was earlier on in the game.
Yeah, you mentioned the number of ends she's scored on. When she has scored, she's scored 3 twice and 2 on 2 occasions. And that's really what's kept her in this match, picking up more than singles. But she'll be happy with another couple on this one. She's got to consistently outdraw, outthink and outperform one of the best players in the world, Karen Murphy. This is where she needs to turn the heat on. She looks to be coming across.
Yeah, she turned her back on that ball very quickly.
Yes. So for Karen Murphy, who won this 4 years ago, but has also won a gold in the triples at the same championships in 2012. And won the women's 4 here in Christchurch in 2008. 3 titles she's won. She's seeking her 4th and her 2nd singles title. Well, that's a good situation for Murphy to be in.
She's just turned her own bowl back, which took the measure out of the out of play. So it's the 1 shot now to Karen Murphy, and there's not too many options for Lesley Doig. She'll stick to the backhand, I think. I'll just stay on the draw. She only got the 1 bowl on the head.
Here she is, backhand, wanting to dead draw. Not this tie, this, a couple of average bowls coming in from Doig just when she needed the big ones. So she's down one here, and if Murphy plays onto that right-hand bowl, or even just draws inside it or onto it slightly, she could pick up 4 here.
Yeah.
Just looking at that situation, as a possible 4 for Murphy.
Certainly is. Sitting the blue bowl back, we see it on the right-hand side there of the jack. Tentatively, any movement of the jack will be in her favour as well. As long as she takes it cleanly.
So that bottom right-hand jack, which is Doig's closest. If that's not there, picture what it would be. 3 shots to Murphy, and if this one stays there, then it could be a 4. She could end up being 1 away from victory after this bowl. How good is it? Doig doesn't dare to watch. Oh, she's going to be narrow too. She's followed the track of Doig. That's not a great bowl from Karen Murphy.
She didn't really give it a chance,
No,
did she?
not at all. So a single there to Australia. It's 17 to 12. Still a bit of work to be done here. Karen Murphy lays down the mat, picks up the jack. The gold jack, the gold and green of Australia. And she puts the jack down on this, the 19th end. She is 4 shots away from victory, so quite conceivably this could be the last end. But we haven't seen a 4 in this match. We've seen 3 threes. 17 to 12.
3/4 length end. Karen Murphy delivering her first bowl. Predominantly played down the side of the green that she is on now throughout this game. Well, the door's been left open for Murphy, for Doig.
Yeah, this is not finishing it off here, is it, with this?
No, it's not. She's got an opportunity here. Drop a yard of weight off her last bolt. Has to be tracking reasonably nicely towards the jack too. If it stops, gee, it went on a lot further than I thought it was.
Still Australia holding the shot, that one to the left as we view it. It's the red disc. Murphy's third. She races up after it. She races up. She knows this is going to get there. 2 shots, Australia.
Doig continues to draw on her backhand. She might have a little bit too much weight again. Drifting on by. So those 3 bowls behind are where Karen Murphy just wants to come inside those. She want to make it count, but also give herself a little bit of cover.
Murphy's last bowl. She's holding 2 here. She's playing it, and it is going to nestle in with those bowls of Doig. So handy there. It's not a counter. But again, Doig now with the ideal shot. She turns around and just has another look at that jack. And as you could see there, if that jack does move back towards the bottom of the screen here, so back on the rink towards her 3 bowls, she could snatch up.
Yes, I just wondering whether she should have changed her hands, perhaps.
Oh, I thought she was going to here, yeah.
Gone on the forehand, got a chance of sitting on either of the shot bowls or moving the jack.
Or the jack, yeah, giving her more options. However, she plays this perfectly. We won't even be talking about that. She has. Oh, yes. The jack needed to move. She's got the shot at least. It could have been more.
Yeah.
If the jack had been going the other way, if she played the other hand. But she gets the single, so she has the mat, and she lives on at 17-13. Tense for the supporters. Tense, of course, for both the players. Karen Murphy has been pretty much in charge, well, in the lead, and always appearing to have just a slight edge over her opponent. A 1 and then 2 twos took her to 5-0 after 3, and then she was 6-0 up. A good burst by Doig saw her score 6 shots on the next 3 ends, so after 7 ends it was 6 all. There was a measure, close measure for shot on the 8th, which went the way of Murphy, so then she started a spurt of scoring over the next 5 ends, where she went to 13-6. There was a 3 from Doig on the 13th, 13-9, and then again Murphy with a 4 over the next 3 ends, went to 16-9, and now it's 17-13.
Short bowl of Murphy has created a situation where Doig needs to change her hand, and has done pretty well at that. She's played the most bowls down on the backhand of either of the 2 players, and now Karen Murphy has to follow.
That's an outstanding bowl.
We saw that from Karen Murphy before when she went over onto that hand. She drew an outstanding shot.
So the target has just got slightly bigger. Jack and shot bowl, not big enough.
Yeah, turned her back on it before it even finished, didn't she?
Back to the forehand now.
Murphy, she'll just look to get a little bit of cover now. At this stage, she won't be worrying about too much about whether she gets another shot. She just needs to cover the blue bowls of Doig, which we can see is the 2nd shot, and in between the 2 of them is ideal for her.
We haven't seen really many shots in anger at all in this game, meaning drives or run shots.
Lesley Doig, she had a couple of run shots earlier on, but they were pretty ineffectual.
Yes.
It's just the 1 down. Ideally, I think she'd look at coming down on the forehand.
Yeah.
Try and sit the shot bowl off, so she is definitely on the forehand.
Needs to turn a bit from there, or take a slide off that. But no, it's not going to get up, and she got caught up in that short bowl of Murphy's. And Murphy holds still on this end. We've played 19 ends in the game so far. We've had 30 points scored.
Karen Murphy will be on her forehand. He needs to negotiate the front bowl of Lesley Doig, and if she gets some movement on the jack, it's going to be in her favour. Giving it a fairly good chance here.
Yes.
She's stalking it.
She got it.
Oh, the game is over.
Moved the jack. She's got 3 out of it.
Oh, she may even have 4.
She saw it.
She's got
read
4.
it, and she's won it. What an outstanding finish to this match. There was nothing looking at like safety in this game for Karen Murphy. She played a superb shot when she was just holding 1. She knew moving the jack would give her at least 3, which was what she needed. In fact, when we see that shot again after the elation of this, we'll see what she did. Took the jack cleanly. It went back far enough to give her the 3 shots needed, and probably 4 out of it. And she has won the final by 21-13. Stunning finish, an outstanding achievement, a wonderful performance here from Karen Murphy. She successfully defends her title as world champion.
Yes, she generally dominated throughout the game. It was only a couple of stages that Lesley Doig managed to come back at her, and it was early on, and then she picked up a 3 later on. But what a bomb she played at the end. The 4 shots, she looked at it and she studied it and thought to herself, some movement of the jack's always going to be in my favour. So it was the 4 at the end, and the celebrations for Karen Murphy, back-to-back world champion.